Hi, it's Shannon back from houseimprovements.com. We're just going to do another short video for you. And today we're going to show you how to rough in some electrical for, we're doing some plug-ins here, so we're just doing the rough in. Okay, so a couple of the first things we're going to do, like always, you need to check with your local building authority, in this case whoever issues permits for your electrical. As a homeowner, you can generally get a homeowner's permit to do any electrical, as long as you're comfortable doing it. If not, just phone your local electrician and set up some time for him to come and do it for you. We're just putting two plugins into this wall. We're down in the basement. First thing we're going to do is we're going to mark 15 inches off the floor, and that'll give us our location at the top of our electrical box, the metal box right here. We also, because this is an exterior wall, we need to use a vapor box around that. So they simply just work together, and then we mount the box onto the studs. We're going to then drill some holes through the studding for the wiring to run. And you always want to make sure that you're not drilling too close to the front edge, so that if somebody's hanging a picture, hanging the drywall, anything after the fact, they aren't piercing your wiring and causing a short or a fire. So always try to drill within the center part of the stud, or even a little bit towards the back, but stay away from the front at least by an inch, inch and a half. So yeah, we're going to start with that. Okay, so I've marked my stud. I'm 15 inches off the floor, and that's going to be the top edge of my box. The one thing to always check too is your local electrical codes. In our case, we need to be no more than 12 feet apart with our boxes. So there is you can't just throw one box and go another 20 feet through another box. So just check all your codes and things out to make sure that you're not going to get a call back on anything. I've put the vapor barrier box around this plug. There's some little pokey spines that'll kind of hold it into the stud, just to temporarily hold it there while you get ready to screw it in. Then I just hold the box back. There's already some pre-drilled holes in the little ears on this box in order to insert screws. So stick two in one in the top, one in the bottom, and then I always stick at least one in the back hole, either top or bottom. That should give you a good solid box. Okay, so now we've got our two boxes mounted on this wall. We need to drill some holes through the framework for our wiring to run. I'm going to be using a 3/4 inch auger bit to drill those holes. You can mark an elevation if you want. I usually eyeball it. You just want to try to stay fairly straight. It just looks nice, it looks neater. And I usually come up about 2 feet off the floor approximately. I'll drill the holes right through all these studs, and then after that I can feed the wiring through to each box. And again, just remember to not get too close to the front edge. I'm drilling approximately in the center of the stud. Okay, we've got all our holes drilled. Now it's time, in this case I'm using a 14-2 wire, and it's time just to feed everything through those holes we just drilled. So it's quite simple. To start out with, I just bypass the plugs, get it all ran in the holes first. And then once you've got it fed through those holes that you just drilled, you need to pull back enough at each box location so that you've got, in this case we're going from one box to the next and it's continuing on. So we need a wire coming into the box that can hook onto the plug-in receptacle, and then enough as well to hook on and come back out to keep feeding the rest of the line. So in that case I just pull back, usually about a 2-foot loop like this. Okay, And that'll give me enough at each box to do what I want to do. Okay, so now at each box we've got this loop of wire that's going to feed in and out of the receptacle box. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this with my side cutters. I'm going to make a small incision in the top of this vapor barrier box near the knockout or the hole that's already in the metal box to feed the wire through. And I'm going to feed my wire in. So leave yourself about 8 inches or so sticking out of the box. Wire isn't that expensive. Leave yourself enough there. You don't want to end up with a short. You know, if you end up cutting a wire too short or something, then at least you've got a little bit more there to play with. You don't have to go back and redo anything. Okay, so I've got my excess wire hanging here. I need to create a bit of a loop inside the wall cavity, so that down the road, if somebody ever needs to redo something here because a wire broke over time, they could actually loosen this inside clamp and pull some more wire out from inside the wall cavity. It's just good practice to do this. So you've got your 2 wires here, and I just want to make a bit of an excess loop here. Just takes a little bit of maneuvering, so that you have a little bit of extra up in here. So if somebody down the road ever had to, there's going to be some wire there. Now the next step is to insert a staple. Now when I say insert, I don't mean through the wire. We're just going to, the staple rides right over the whole wire. And I'm going to tack it in here. And this just holds the wiring stable. Oh yeah, usually works better if it actually stays in the wood. So there, we've got our loop. We've got some excess here. We can get these wires all back. When you hammer these staples in, they don't have to be drove in super tight. You need them snug, but you don't want to pinch the wires in between there either and create a short or a break in the wire. Okay. One other thing to remember, at least in our area here, this staple needs to be within 12 inches of the box. So we've got it right here. We're definitely within 12 inches. We're about 10 inches away. So there you have it. That was my video for doing rough-in for electrical. We just added 2 receptacles into this newly framed wall. If you liked this video, and I hope you did, there's many more that you can view on our YouTube channel, or you can also go to our website at houseimprovements.com. Thanks a lot.